morning. It's Saturday morning. What is today? March 20th, and one day before the solstice, I guess, right? Any case, just been doing a lot of fasting lately and feeling so much better. So meditation will start at 10:02, maybe slightly after that, because I might have come in about half minute late. So we'll start in a little bit. Okay, thanks for joining. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. First of all, I'm noticing I use a certain software, and I'm noticing that it's being a little choppy in the video. I want to make sure that the audio is coming through all right. I switched routers because my other router was not giving the speeds that it should, but this new router seems to be giving better speed, but I'm not sure the signal transmitting far enough in the house because it's on the main floor. I'm upstairs in my meditation room. So I would just like to know, I'm going to go to Facebook. There's two people out there. I would just like to know that it's transmitting okay. So if you can give me a hint, and let's see, audio good. Okay, that's my main concern. I'm not as worried far enough in the house because it's in the far. It's on. There we go. Okay, so thanks, Cheryl, for that. And I'm comfortable with the rest. If the video is choppy, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, let's see. I've been doing a lot of intermittent fasting, and I've been eating once a day at 5 o'clock. I have a hearty meal at 5, but then I don't eat again till 5. And I've been doing this is my 4th day, I believe. It's not easy, but I feel so grateful that it's brought me back to myself. There was some physical stuff going on with me when I went over to my mom's. I wasn't eating the way I normally do, and just trying to be there for her. Came back, and for 4 meditations in a row, it's just like I didn't feel I was connected with myself and with God, and I knew I needed to do something different. And fasting for me is that way of saying to God, I'm going to give up something because I want to draw nearer to you. It's not God drawing nearer to us, it's us drawing nearer to God, because God is always right here. With that said, I feel my disconnection sometimes when I'm not doing as God's asking, and it's not because God's punishing me, it's because God is helping me to see that I can play a bigger game. And so for me, I'm feeling healthier, I'm feeling more grateful, everything is flowing better, and I'm super happy about that, because it's painful feeling myself disconnected from myself and from God. So, and the more you connect with yourself, the more you find that's true. If you disconnect, it feels painful. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining. Let's see, audio good, yes, choppy video, okay, and Michelle, an upside down smiley face. Hopefully that means everything's okay and you're just being silly. So any case, so okay, well, let's get going on the meditation here, and just closing your eyes. And I know I was talking fast, so let me just slow it down. And I find the slower I speak, not too slow, but it also tends to bring more of a relaxing, peaceful energy, and it also just contributes to a slower heart rate. And when I'm meditating, a lot of times my pulse will drop down to 45, sometimes in the high 30s, and supposedly that is too low, but I don't buy that for a second, because I'm just so relaxed and my heart is having a chance to rest. Sadashiva, my teacher, said doing the Ashaya Ascension 20 minutes 3 times a day will reduce your, for 1 year, will reduce your chronological age by, did I forget, by 7 years. 7 years, that's right. 7 years, not the chronological, the biological body will be reduced by 7 years. And if you do 20 minutes 3 times a day, it will reduce by 12 years. And there, of course, is a point in time when you move beyond the belief that we need to age at all. Deepak Chopra has spoken about this. Many of the master teachers have spoken on this, that we're truly eternal beings, and we can maintain and sustain healthy bodies for as long as we choose to, and as long as just staying in alignment with God on when it's our time. So we don't have to limit ourselves in any form health-wise. So let's just take a nice deep breath in. And I just got back from the farmer's market. I just want to slow everything down and just relax into this present moment. And just really be here now. Just really be here now. There's nowhere we need to go. There's nothing we need to do other than just being present here for this meditation. And I invite you to let go of all the past and let go of all the future. And just allow your body to fully surrender into whatever physical structure you're sitting or laying on. We want to let go of all effort for this meditation. Any effort that comes from the physical form, the body. Any effort that comes mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. Letting go of all agendas and all intentions of how you think this meditation should go. And I invite you to let go of any of that, so that really that life and God can flow through us and direct this meditation the way this meditation needs to go. Not because of what we desire or we want, but because it's in alignment with God's will for us. And I was mentioning that I've had some physical challenges, and for those of you who've been following me, you'll know that my eyes, I've had, particularly my one eye I don't know if it's an infection or what was going on. It was kind of almost swollen, completely shut, and it was a bit itchy, and almost like an allergy, but there was something more going on with it. And since I've been fasting, my eyes continue to clear up, and there's not the leakage from my eyes anymore. And maybe it's too much information for you right now, but my point is just doing the fasting has drawn me nearer to God and to myself. And the truth is, ourself and God never, ever, 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 ever leave us. They cannot leave us. That's not possible. The only thing we can experience is it feels like they have left us. And that's what we call disconnection, is when our person, is not feeling our true essence. And so that can feel very painful when we have been used to having an open heart and experiencing the gratitude and the flow with life. Personally, I rely on these meditations. I rely on God and my true self for these meditations to flow in a way that it needs to flow. And when I am not experiencing that, it's almost like I have to turn to my head and past memories to guide the meditation. And I do have certain, kind of muscle memory, if you will, as to what the meditation should look like. But I don't want to rely on muscle memory for what the meditation should look like, because that involves the head and not the heart. And so this Sunday, tomorrow, I'm speaking on Zoom and Facebook for the Unity of Grand Rapids, and the talk is called Fasting for God. Fasting for God. And it's not just about food. It's about giving something up that we have an attachment to, or a desire, and it may be some kind of habit or addiction that we're holding on to. It might be a cup of coffee, it might be a piece of chocolate, it might be a chocolate cake. Notice the leaning on chocolate for me. So for me, when I'm feeling stuck, I look within myself to say, what addiction, what hang-up am I holding on to that I can just give that up right now, as a way of showing God that, God, I don't know why I'm stuck, but I'm giving up something that I have addiction to, that I love and enjoy, but I'm giving it up for you because I want to reconnect and realign with you. And I'm not sure, as of right now, I'm not feeling like I even want to go back to eating more than one meal a day. One meal a day for me sustains me. The awakened teacher Sadhguru, who literally has millions of followers in the world, you've heard me speak of him, he's spoken at the United Nations. He said that if you eat at 10 o'clock in the morning and at 7 o'clock in the evening, so you're giving your body more than 8 hours rest to recharge and begin to heal, you will heal 50% of all physical ailments. If you eat once a day, you will heal 100% of the physical ailments that you have going on. Now, I should say that Sadhguru is able to say that because when you follow him and his teachings, that he will make sure that that happens energetically and with his grace and compassion. I do not fully align with Sadhguru because there's a few things that don't fully resonate with me with him, but I appreciate his wisdom and his teachings. And Spirit specifically asked me not to align with him, so I've honored that. But with that said, I'm also conscious and aware of the wisdom that flows through him as well. Ultimately, we really don't even need food to sustain these bodies. We don't live off food. We live off the love and light of God. And Jesus said, man does not live on bread and water alone. Yogananda spoke of, in his book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, of a woman who didn't drink any water or eat anything. And there are, as we speak, there are many breatharians on this world that simply live off the love and light of the sun, which is a very powerful healing force. It not at the conscious level of God, of course, but so you can breathe in the sun and allow it to sustain you in many ways, but don't look only to the sun. The sun is a way and a tool for drawing us nearer to God as well. And I say that from direct experience. I have a meditation that I do that I can't share with you as the Ashaya Ascension meditation that is the sun, and that ultimately leads to the path of the sages, which is unity or Christ consciousness, where we experience our oneness with all existence, all existence. So what is that thing for you? We're in this period of fasting for Lent. What is that thing for you? It may be food. Again, it may be a cup of coffee, chocolate. It may be sex. It may be just something that you feel you have to have. It may be shopping. It may be watching TV. It may be electronics. You're silencing your phone for a week or even a day, or a computer. But if you feel stuck, or if you feel driven to draw nearer to God and to your true self, I invite you to explore with this whole idea. And right now, I just invite you just to let go of anything that you're holding on to. Anything that you're holding on to, physically, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. Don't hold on to anything. There's nothing you need to hold on to in order to experience the joy and truth of who you already are. Sometimes we hold on to things of losing them. It could be something materially, it could be money, car, home. But it could also be loved ones that we have a tight grip on. Ultimately, I invite you just to give over all control over to God. And to the depth that you let that go will be to the depth that you experience a greater freedom to have trust and faith that life and God are always providing you what you need without you controlling or manipulating any of it. And I also invite you just to fully surrender into this moment. Meaning to let go of any resistance that you have to this moment. And also just letting go of any attachments and desires you have. And maybe there's certain attachments and desires that you have that you're not ready to let go of, and it's okay. Even if you would be willing to crack that door open to begin to release desires and attachments that you feel really that you've got a tight grip on. Just cracking the door open, that the light can begin to seep into the darkness. And I believe I said this yesterday, where my teacher, Sadashiva, had said, what must you let go of to awaken to the truth of who you are? Nothing. What must you be willing to let go of? Everything. And I love that. And sometimes I'm asked to let go of, for me right now, it's food. Letting go of my attachment and my addiction to food doesn't mean that I won't be eating any, although I'm open for that as well. It means I have this love for food, and when I get bored, I turn to food. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying food. In fact, I hope you do feel grateful for every single bite, to be conscious and aware of every single bite you take, and to just experience the gratitude and the joy of all of it. But also, if they're addictive behaviors where you have to have certain things, or you have to eat a certain amount, or you have to eat a certain amount of times per day, I invite you just to let go of it. And I mentioned sex also, because we have what's called a procreative imperative, which means we naturally feel drawn to be sexual beings. And yet I would also say that as we begin to, that the core truth of who we are needs nothing to be the truth of who we are. We begin to see that some of these things that we think are necessary or needed, food, water, sex, touch, we're taught that you have to be touched in order to stay healthy and well. And although there is a certain point of time as a baby, yes, to be held and loved, absolutely. But there comes a point in time where even you can transcend needing any touch. I haven't felt a lack because I haven't been hugging people or touching them in other ways. I don't feel a lack from that. If I'm connected with the truth of who I am, it is enough. Always. And with that said, today I'm going to a gathering to celebrate my friend's 60th birthday and another friend's 70th birthday. There will probably only be about 15 people. But for me, as I open my heart and I open up to the infinite possibilities of who I am along with God, and as Unity says, as God, and then I walk in fearless. And for me, I will be offering hugs to whoever wants to receive hugs. And I know I'm not encouraging anybody to do that. You have to walk in a truth that feels right and aligned for you. And for some people, it means practicing social distancing. And for some people, it means that having trust and faith that God is bigger than all of this. Again, I'm not encouraging it one way or another for you. For my wife, Laura, she practices social distancing. She doesn't like to be around too many people, and particularly make sure she keeps her mask on. I wear a mask because out of respect for others and what they might think or feel. But to be honest with you, I'm not uncomfortable. I was in the hospital with my mom in the COVID ward, and I went and visited her and sat for hours every day. And I didn't feel a need to even have the mask on. I wore it because I had to. But there comes a point in time wherein we transcend the fears, that we move beyond the logic that says if we do this, then this will happen. But that logic is limiting in the aspect that we can never perform the miracles that Jesus and many other saints and sages have performed in this world throughout history. We cannot perform those miracles if we're only trapped in the limiting mind and the logic of the limiting mind, because certainly you cannot walk on water, heal the blind, or raise the dead if you are only coming from the mind. And so for me, I give God permission to bring me whatever I need. And to be honest with you, I don't even hide from COVID. I say, Father, if it's of thy will to have me have COVID, then so be it. Father, if it's of thy will for me to die, then so be it. Father, and so it is that I transcend the fears, and I am free from the fears and free from the mind. Because all the fears come from the mind and from the logic of the mind to say, if you do this, then this will be what the results are. If you walk on water, surely you will sink in the water. Because it's easy to have trust and faith when it all matches with our beliefs, right? When Jesus invited Peter to walk out onto the water, Peter's like, oh, no. That doesn't make sense. Logically, I see that if I walk on this water, I'm going to sink and I might drown. And that was the fear. And Jesus said, ye have little faith. And with the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Mustard seed, so tiny. And yet just that little bit of pure faith, you can move mountains. I don't know about all of you, but I don't want to play small anymore. And to be honest with you, there's been an arrogance about me in certain ways. And because I've been insecure. But what's also true is I have limited myself because I'm afraid that I will come across being arrogant. And I want to just say this right now as I claim this with you, with God, with me, with the universe. If I end up being arrogant, then so be it. I don't want to hide from the truth of who I am. I don't want to deny my oneness with God. I don't want to deny the infinite possibilities that are available right now in this moment, and where Jesus says, you can do all things I have done and even greater things. I don't want to deny that I can heal the blind or walk on water or raise the dead or many other multitude of miracles that Jesus and other sages have performed. And I invite you to let go of all your limitations. It almost sounds blasphemous to our mind. Then so be it. Let it sound blasphemous. I don't want to play small anymore. I'm not up for that game anymore. I'm up for the game of, if you feel that I'm arrogant, then so be it. Then allow that to be your teaching. And if I have the thoughts and beliefs that I'm being arrogant, then let that be my teaching, and let me acknowledge that. Let me feel that. Let me be present with that pain, because there's always a fear and a pain behind every limiting belief that we have. No, I won't play small anymore. And as God is my witness, let it be so. And I don't know what that means. It might mean that God comes to me to challenge me with that. Because when you claim something, you claim to be who you are, then those things that block you from recognizing who you are will come to the surface. We have a lot of tools to work with to deal with that. So be it, let them come to the surface. Let it be known right now, I'm not willing to play small anymore. I invite you to join me on this journey to whatever that looks like to you. It might be on a scale from 1 to 10. It might be a 1 for you. Perfect. Wonderful. It might be a 10 for you. Fantastic. Wonderful. It might be a 3 for you. Great. It doesn't matter what it is. It might be a 0 for you, and that's perfect as well. I'm not trying to persuade or convince you. I'm just inviting you to explore with me and the possibilities, the infinite possibilities of who you are. That's all. And for some it might be a 0, for some it might be a 10, another 2, another an 8. But I would say this also, and I'll invite you to this as well. If you're at a 0 or a 1, you can start by just saying, God, I'm afraid to show up as to who I truly am. I'm afraid of what people might think. I have certain fears that they'll see this or believe this, or I'm afraid for myself and what it might mean. So that might be your starting point. Just notice if there's fears. What keeps us from committing to attend? And so for some, the starting point might be, God, I see that I'm at a 0, but I'm asking you to raise me to a 2 or a 3 or a 10. Inspire me. Help me to rise up, to just feel inspired and committed to diving in at a deeper level. I used to say to God, bring it on. Whatever you would have, bring it on. But to be honest with you, I don't say that anymore, because I have found that God does bring it on. And I have also found that sometimes that is not necessary. But what I am open for, and I'm up for the game, for God to bring to me whatever experience God feels is for my greatest good. Let thy will be my will. And I don't want it any other way. Why? Because God knows more than I do. And when I say more than I do, who is that I? My person. That is my person. That is my egoic self. That comes from the mind and all the beliefs of the mind and who I am. Because the truth of who I am is already there. So this commitment comes from my person. My person says, I want and I choose to fully align and be the truth of who I am. And so God brings lessons for the person. But the best thing to do is to just keep coming back to the present moment and to the truth of who we are. When something comes up, a fear, a judgment, a blame, a limitation, limiting belief, limiting thoughts, be conscious and aware of those and simply come back to the present moment. Come back to the truth of who you are. And those things that are haunting you fall away very quickly and easily. Because when you bring the light to the darkness, nothing else can happen other than just raising your vibration to love and light and the truth that you already are. Well, I don't know about you, but that was personally inspirational for me. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for Jesus. I'm grateful for Sadashiva and Muji and all the teachers and sages that come forth to support me. And I invite you just to acknowledge all the beautiful teachers and beings of spirit and angels and sages and saints and our beloved Creator that has come forth to you right this very moment to say, what is it that you want? How deep do you want to dive? Are you ready to dip your toe into the water at least? Are you ready to be fully submerged? And will you have trust and faith that life and God are on your side and will bring you exactly what you need to awaken you to the truth of who you are? All these eye infections, the inflammation in my body where it was feeling stiff, disconnecting from myself and from God, are all a play of God's. It's all God just coming forth to say, no, Brett, I hear you loud and clear. I hear that you want and choose to fully live from the truth of who you are. So I am bringing these things to help inspire you to dig deeper because it is within you. It's here right now. And so Please don't think for a moment that I am not grateful for this eye infection. Don't think that I'm not grateful for my stiff body. Don't think that I'm not grateful to be disconnected from life and from God, from a point of view that it has inspired me and called me to dig deeper. To dig deeper in a way that is within the capacity what I already have. God will never give you more than what you can handle. And that's the beauty of all the teachings that God brings. Right now, I just invite you to come back to the present moment. Come back to either being aware of the breath, being aware of the stillness, being aware of the silence, whatever you choose. But the more we raise our vibration of truth, of love, of peace, of joy, stillness and silence begin to become a natural part, because it is the truth of who we are. Be still and know that I am God. And ultimately, we are perfect stillness and perfect silence. We are not the thinker, we are not the feeler, we are not the perceiver, and we are not the doer. We are not the one taking action. We are the one that consciousness is expressing itself through us, but we are not that. All the actions that you see going on, be a witness to them, because you are not them. When you make a choice, this action, these experiences of life flow through you, but not as you. You are the one witnessing all of them. And once again, I invite you just to come back to the present moment. Come back to being the conscious witness to all of life. And just stay in that, either the stillness, the silence, or again, if you want to use the breath, that's perfect as well. And if your mind has drifted, just simply allowing the thoughts and to gently and effortlessly pass on by, and come back to the present moment, come back to the stillness, come back to the silence. And remember, meditation is a teaching for how we can live during our waking hours. In other words, when your mind starts to go astray during the day, as soon as you become aware of the thought, as soon as you become aware of the feeling, and especially as soon as you become aware of any stress or disharmony, notice that, allow those thoughts and feelings to gently and effortlessly pass on by, and come back to the present moment. Come back to the stillness and the silence of who you are. And if your mind has drifted, just again simply coming back to the present moment, coming back to being aware of your focal point, just witnessing it without needing to fix or change anything at all, just being a witness to all of it. And if your mind has drifted, just again coming back to the present moment, coming back home to who you are. going to begin bringing this meditation to completion. If you'd like to continue basking in this energy, please feel free to mute or turn your device off. And thank you so much for joining. Really grateful to have you here today. Thank you. And for those of you who are ready to finish, just taking in a nice deep breath. And just letting it go and just re-energizing this beautiful physical form that helps us to get around. And moving, stretching the body some. And taking your time, and whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. Well, looks like the video is still very choppy, but let's see here. Well, it's Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Nice to have you join this morning as well. And I think that is about it. Cheryl, Michelle, Sharon, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. That was powerful for me. I don't know how your experience was. You're welcome to share if you'd like. But I'm feeling really grateful. I'm feeling inspired to really stay with this fasting process. For me, it's been super powerful, and yeah, I'm ready to play a bigger game. So you're welcome to join me on the journey. But in any case, enjoy the beautiful sunshine today, at least in Metro Detroit. And of course, Michelle, you get sunshine all the time, so I'm guessing you probably have it there. Thanks, Michelle. Namaste to you too, my friend. Have a beautiful day. And let's see here. Let me swing over to YouTube also. Whoops. Okay, well, I guess Sandy is not there now. So I'll just, let's see. And I think that's about it. If you guys want to leave any additional comments on there, you can. If not, thank you for joining this morning. I thought it was a good meditation. And so I will be speaking at Unity of Grand Rapids tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. And the talk is Fasting for God. And it's going to be on Zoom and on Facebook Live. If you want to be part of Zoom, you can go to the Unity of Grand Rapids page. If you want to just do Facebook Live, you can go to the Facebook Unity of Grand Rapids page as well if you'd like to join. Okay? All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a beautiful day. Love you. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Thanks, Sharon. You enjoy your day, too. Thank you.